Hey everyone, Sean here, and welcome back to another tier list video on this channel. The only other one I've done on this channel was the One Piece opening video, which I actually had a lot of fun making it, despite being how long it is. But I like discussing stuff, and I just like talking about the stuff I like, and that includes pizza. Although more specifically here, we're going to be talking about pizza toppings. I think that's a very important topic to discuss, right? I mean, pizza is a very staple food, right? It's a lot of people's favorites. It's a lot of people's go-tos. In many situations, whether you don't feel like making dinner, you want to have like a football game or whatever with your friends to watch on the TV or whatever. It's just like a snack or dinner, or it could be a lot of things. And also, when you move into a new apartment, that's probably something you'll likely have, again, just because you don't feel like making anything. So it all correlates to this wonderful dish that has been America's sort of staple food, kind of like the hard-working man food type of stuff, right? The hard worker food. Anyways, I do want to make a sort of tier list video about specifically pizza toppings. But anyway, if you like this sort of stuff, hit the like, subscribe for more videos like these. Let me know in the comment section below what should I do next and all that stuff. I'm all for just different ideas for tier list of videos or something to that sort. So anyway, let's get started. So I'm gonna just like go left to right, from the top to bottom. So let's just get right into it. So first one up, I'm assuming these are like banana peppers or banana chili peppers or whatever you call them, pepperoncini or something like that. You do find these like on sub sandwiches or subs. But when it comes to pizza, I don't necessarily like them on my pizza, so to say, but I like them off my pizza, like off to the side. So overall, like on the pizza as a actual pizza topping, I'm not gonna say no way by any means, but if it's already on top of the pizza, I guess I'll eat it, but I would prefer it on the side. So if it's offered to me and it's already on the pizza, I mean, I can just always take it off anyway, but I can say that for a number of these ingredients. And so I'll just put it in if I have to, for right now at least. All right, bacon. Okay, so is it a must-have? I guess, because I really do like bacon on a lot of things, like pizza, of course, right here, and then of course burgers, right? That's another very sort of staple topping of itself. So on and so forth, right? So I think it's beyond delicious, but I maybe must-have might be too strong of a word, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it up there anyway because I think it's a great topping. It's rich in fat. When you bake it, it takes advantage of that, because when you bake something, it tends to dry it out. Like a lot of these, a number of these ingredients, including chicken, which I'll address that later. But bacon, because it's so rich in fat, it crisps up in the oven, and so it really takes advantage of what the oven does. So rather than getting dry, it gets crispy because of the fat and stuff like that, and I guess the amount of moisture and stuff like that, with not only from the meat itself, but also from the pizza of itself. So of course, when you get it right, it's really good. It takes advantage of the nature of the baking portion of making pizza. So I think it's a no-brainer here. I think it's definitely a good option to have for a topping of a pizza. So I'm assuming this next one up is going to be basil. Basil is another sort of like a staple for Italian food. When it comes to pizza of itself as a topping, I do like it on like the sort of the more fancy pizzas, right? With the it's like a what do you call those? Like it's the one that comes with like the fancy moist like mozzarella. It comes in with a ball. You like cut it up in like little crumbs, and you could like kind of sprinkle on top a little bit. You can also cut like in the circles and then just plop on top like that. Those type of pizzas I do like with basil. So I will say, well, when it comes to like regular conventional pizza, um, that's a very pretty uncommon topping, and I don't know if that's a choice topping for that kind of pizza, which is like that's the kind of pizza I have most of the time. When it comes to the fancier pizzas, right? Like I said, with the whole like the block mozzarella and everything, the ball mozzarella, cut, and when you like, either slice the mozzarella or you rip it into little crumbs, you put it on top like that. Those ones are pretty good. So I would say it's delicious on those type of pizzas, or even tasty at that, at the very least. But it's definitely not a must-have for that type of pizza, like the more the chain stuff, right? So, but yeah. Anyway, let me see what's up next. So barbecue sauce. Okay, so interesting that they use Kraft of all things. Barbecue sauce that gives me reminders of like California Pizza Kitchen because of like the whole like barbecue chicken pizza. And that of itself is like an offense to the authentic Italian pizza makers, right? It's just it is what it is. I mean, it's very contemporary. It's very very modern, right? It's definitely not traditional pizza, but I guess you could say it's you can at the end of the day you can call it a pizza. It's got everything else. Got the cheese, got the crust. It's got the barbecue. The only thing is the barbecue sauce, right? But we have to remember this is pizza topping, so I'm assuming this is just on top of the pizza. It's not. I think it's incorporated with the pizza sauce as well. So I can, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say it's alright. Like it's not bad. It's not offensive or by any means. I think it's you could put it on your pizza and you can still enjoy it, especially if you have chicken or something to that sort. Even bacon, right? Like barbecue bacon, that's pretty good, right? Maybe not as good on pizza, but like in burgers, absolutely. That's a winning combination, I think. When you're in the mood for barbecue flavors. Okay, so up next, this one kind of got me confused when I first looked at this. I saw this and I was just like, is this like white sauce? Is this like Alfredo sauce or anything like that? Like, the white sauce you see from like, Round Table Pizza or something like that. Of course, you have to remember, again, this is a pizza topping. So, it could be that, or maybe it's some sort of garlic sauce. I don't know. This is too vague. I wish these ones had some sort of label on them. So I can only assume it's like that kind of sauce, like Alfredo sauce, garlic sauce, or something to that sort. For all we know, it could be that what do you call it, like the tzatziki sauce or something like that you find in Mediterranean food. You can slap it on your pizza. I mean, absolutely. I mean, I can only imagine it's good because it's garlic. It's just garlic, vinegar, and lemon or lemon juice and stuff like that. So I don't think that's offensive of itself. So but because I don't know what it is exactly, I'm just gonna say it's all right. Maybe at the very highest, it could be delicious, but I don't know what that is. I mean, it could be any of those sauces I mentioned. Okay, so this is a more common topping for sure, and it's pretty obvious. These are bell peppers, right? Whether it's yellow, red, green, orange, right? I think overall, these are pretty tasty, right? Probably the best veggie for me to have on the pizza. Like that's probably one of the ones I would as far as I go with veggie-based pizza toppings is bell pepper. It really complements it. That of course that bell pepper flavor really does complement the pizza of itself. Along with that tomato sauce, the pizza sauce, the cheese, the meats and stuff like that. By itself, it's definitely all right, but with other toppings to help lift each other up, I think it definitely is tasty at the end of the day. So, but speaking of vegetables, oh my goodness, broccoli. I'd actually never seen broccoli all that much on pizza. Maybe once or twice in my life, but I'm gonna be honest here. This is definitely a no fucking way. I'm gonna put broccoli directly on my pizza. You know what's funny? Every time my family and I have pizza, my mom always makes steamed broccolis, and it's just onto the side. Always, always, always is broccoli, right? So whenever I think of broccoli, it's that. Like it's a side thing. It's something for me to eat, and then I can eat my pizza, right? Because my mom was always just like, "Ah, you have to eat your veggies, man. Like you gotta keep up with your veggie serving and stuff like that." I'm like, okay, fine. I'm a meat guy, right? So, if in case you didn't catch that already, like I'm all about the meats. I'm all about the non-veggie foods, right? I definitely hated vegetables when I was a kid. Point being, I just no way, not on my pizza, man. Get that out of here. Get that broccoli out of here. I don't. I would not be able to enjoy that, especially with how broccoli is. I mean, cheese and broccoli of itself, that's not bad, but just on my pizza, man. When I'm eating pizza, I want meat toppings, man. More meat toppings than anything. Even if it's paired with like beef or something like that. Beef of itself is actually, I don't think it's that great on pizza, to be honest, just because of how it comes out of the oven. Um, so yeah, in this case, um, as a pizza topping, no way. As a side though, yes. I like baked broccoli, like when you oven bake it and oven bake the broccoli, it depending on how you make it right, it can caramelize there too, so that taste definitely comes through, and then I can like eat it off from the side and stuff like that all over my pizza. But like, as a pizza topping, there's a good reason why it's not there commonly. Okay, so another uncommon topping I've heard or seen or whatever is ketchup. Um, this one's like, I would say if I have to, because it's tomato, right? It's just tomato and vinegar at the end of the day with some sugar and salt, and maybe some corn syrup, depending on what kind of ketchup you're eating or consuming. But it's just tomato, and so more tomato on top of tomato. I mean, it's not that offensive to me, but it is definitely weird. I'll definitely give it that. Like when people, hear about ketchup and they go, "Whoa," or whatever. I don't blame it for it because it is definitely not a common thing amongst pizza toppings. But if you think about it, it's just more tomato on top of the thing that's has a lot of tomato already. So, would I do it like on a frequent basis? No, but when you only have ketchup in the house, and and you don't have pizza sauce and like that, you know what? Hey, man, you gotta use that pizza sauce. Maybe if you have oregano in there, throw that oregano in that ketchup. Put some cheese on top of that on your toast or whatever. Put that in the toaster oven. And you have a poor man's pizza, and it's something to consume no less. But as a pizza topping with more tomato on top of tomato, if I have to, I'll eat it. All right, next one. I'm assuming this is extra cheese. Yes, I would definitely absolutely have extra cheese. I like cheese. I like cheese pizza, right? It's definitely like either number two or number three, like or even number one at times. It definitely really depends on what I feel like. So it goes kind of back and forth. Extra cheese. It's just so simple and yet so delicious, and that is what I always look forward to when it comes to like food, like just simplicity of food. And when it's really good, it like kind of, I don't know, it all comes together. And pizza is all about cheese, pizza sauce, and of course the dough, the crust and everything. And sometimes the beauty of it comes from the simplicity of it. So extra cheese, man, I'm all for it, especially if it's like cheddar cheese, more mozzarella, all that stuff, Monterey Jack even, whatever you got in the kitchen. Toss that bad boy in there, more of that bad boy in there. And, is there too much of a good thing? Yeah, I guess, but when you have a pizza that has that nice meltiness to it, when you pull that out from the big pizza plate or whatever, the hot plate or what you want to call it, the stone or whatever, what do you have, or pizza steel, pull that out from the rest of the pie. Oh man, that is one one hot pizza, literally and figuratively. So I'm all for extra cheese. Now, when it comes to chicken, though, am I really all for that? I think it's all right. I think it's definitely along with the barbecue sauce, because they both complement each other. Because the barbecue chicken pizza, that's like the most common thing you have with chicken. There are times where you have like chicken bacon and ranch pizza or something like that. That itself is kind of not it's not as common, but not entirely like hated either. But it's kind of just like more of middle of the road type of stuff. But a lot of times chicken just comes out dry. It's just definitely, doesn't it really isn't at the end of the day a good pizza topping because of how baking or what baking does to these toppings. Some of them really do take advantage of that, like bacon, like I said, but chicken is definitely not one of them. Even if it is dark meat, I think it definitely it's a missed opportunity in a way. Why use chicken? But when you have bacon and pepperoni and stuff like that, or like the fatty meats, and so like I said, even with the thigh meat, the dark meat and stuff like that, with the skin on top, I think it just doesn't hit hard or it doesn't slap as hard as other meat toppings. It most of the time comes off dry. The flavor isn't really all that there either. Even if you really spruce up the chicken, I think chicken can just go somewhere else. But it's not a completely inoffensive combination either. It's just kind of there for the extra protein if you want to like go for a more healthy option. I'm all for that. And so I think it's definitely all right in my book, along with the barbecue sauce. French fries. I've never seen French fries on top of a pizza. I'm gonna say overall it might be an all right at max, because there's definitely a reason why you don't see like potatoes on the pizza most of the time. I've seen other potato toppings on the pizza, mostly from California Pizza Kitchen, because they do all those like crazy combinations, along with like other pizza places where you can make your own pizza in a way. And but I've never seen French fries though. That even those places aren't that crazy. I've never seen French fries on top of a pizza, and I can't imagine having it come out too well from the oven, right? With the cheese and everything. I imagine it would come out most of the time like soggy, maybe a little bit crispy on the edges, but like, I mean, I don't think it. I would think it. I definitely don't think it would work. But hey, if it's on the pizza, would I be offended by it? Probably not, because I love French fries. Definitely another staple like side dish. But that's what it is. It's a side dish. I think it's best to have it on the side. Same with the broccoli, but I like French fries better. Yeah, it's technically a vegetable, but a lot of people say it's super starch based, so whatever. Doesn't count too much as like that green vegetable or whatever colored vegetable. I don't think it's counts as a vegetable serving, quote unquote. If you want to be very technical, yeah. I guess you could say that. But as a pizza topping for French fries, I think at best it would be just all right. I would still eat it if someone were to plop it on the pizza like that. But I think that's the max it'll go. Now I suppose this is supposed to be mustard. I think it'd probably be a no. Like more likely, I've never ever seen mustard on top of a pizza. I mean, I'm not gonna exactly deny that it doesn't exist on somebody's pizza, but I don't think it would go well. I mean, I don't knock it till you try it. Like, sure. I mean, I've never tried it, so do I have a right to knock it? Not exactly, I guess, but just from imagining the flavor of mustard, even with like honey mustard or hot mustard or spicy mustard or jalapeno mustard, any of those mustards, with the fancy mustard too, I don't think it would go too well with pizza. I mean, it could maybe go with like the chicken or something like that, but other than that, no. I probably stay away from it. More likely. So okay. I'm assuming this is Parmesan cheese. This is from what it looks like. Or it could be mozzarella. I don't know, but why would it be on here if it's mozzarella? Like, of course you gotta have mozzarella, right? So I'm assuming this is Parmesan. So this is how I'm gonna perceive it, Parmesan, for this case here. So if this were to, if, I'm assuming this is Parmesan, and I'm about to be, I guess, controversial for a number of people. It's a no way. Like I truly detest the taste of Parmesan, for the most part. When it comes to like fancier Parmesans, it's all right. But for the most part, I'm not that kind of guy. Like it's unfortunate that I really do taste the barfiness of the barfy sort of flavor from Parmesan. And it's always been the thing ever since I was a kid. I've always hated Parmesan, especially from the green tube from Kraft. That is crap to me. And I know friends and friends of friends who just like make it snow with that Parmesan cheese on their pizza. Man, it's just no way, no way, Jose. I don't want that anywhere near my pizza, anywhere near my salads, anywhere near most foods, right? And in general, like when it comes to the fancy, like just that certain type of cheese. I mean, let's be real. Like a lot of Italian cheeses I don't like, or a number of Italian cheeses I don't like. Asiago, Romano, blah blah blah. You know, that's the type of stuff. Those all have that sort of barfy taste to me. I'm sorry. That's the only way I can describe it. And you know what's funny? I'm not too far from that sort of statement because those cheeses contain a lot of butyric acid, and butyric acid is the exact acid that has that pukey flavor. That's why when you puke it out or puke something, it contains a good amount of butyric acid. That's where that taste comes from. Why is it there? Probably to help induce it or something. It's just a naturally occurring sort of acid that takes place when it comes to fermentation, when it comes to digestion, when it comes to some sort of natural process, right? When it comes to with these sort of aging or digestion type of processes. When something breaks down, it turns into a certain acid, it turns into a certain chemical, chemistry 101, that type of stuff, right? And unfortunately, when it comes to cheeses, a lot of that comes with butyric acid. So I'm pretty sensitive to that type of stuff or that type of acid. With my taste buds, I really do taste it, so it just comes off as pukey to me or vomity. So naturally, I get that sort of nauseous sort of sensation if I have too much of it. So I'm just like, So I'm sorry for those who enjoy Parmesan. I'm sorry, I can't. No, this is definitely a no fucking way type of topping for me. So that's all I gotta say. Okay, so up next, mushrooms. Okay, so there are times where when it comes out good, it's pretty good. Like it definitely complemented with the meats, but a lot of times, I don't know if it's not they don't grab the right mushroom, or the mushroom sucks, the quality of the mushroom sucks, or the timing of the baking and everything because it's fast food or whatever. I think it comes off a lot of times all right, so I'm just gonna put it right there. But I know mushroom itself can be really good, but with how it's made at times, I think it's all right. So I'm gonna put it I'm gonna put it higher than chicken because I think it comes off okay when it's like more like baked or dried and stuff like that, comparing to chicken, of course. In fact, I'll probably even put it. Yeah, I'll definitely put it in front of the barbecue sauce too. The highest of all rights. It could be tasty. It's got that potential for to be tasty, but a lot of times it just comes off all right. Pasta. Pasta. Okay. So I've seen pasta on top of pizza, which is like, I don't know. I mean, for some people who have that sort of pessimistic type of outlook, it's like a lot of these like Italian dishes are rearrangements or something, or same with Mexican food. It's a rearrangement for a lot of foods or ingredients. So putting a pasta on top of pizza, hey, it'd probably go together. So I would just say it's either all right or if I have to. Like, not in no way, but I'll be like, what? So like, huh, okay, interesting choice. Would I enjoy it? I don't know. I mean, if it's like a macaroni pizza, macaroni and cheese pizza, perhaps. But I think that's the best that could happen when you're using pasta. But if it's like straight up spaghetti, that okay, that's definitely strange, but not completely as not completely as not a complete no way, like these toppings down here. Although now we can definitely talk about this one. This is the staple topping. Like, this is absolutely up there. But as I have gotten older, right? When it comes to pepperoni, yes, it's definitely one of the best meats out there for pizza. It's just like the most common topping for meats, and it's absolutely an iconic thing to have on a pizza. But what I haven't nowadays, as a kid, it's a must-have, but as an adult, it's definitely delicious. So I'll definitely put up here the highest of deliciousness, but I wouldn't say it's a must-have. If anything, I like bacon better, just because sometimes there's some pepperonis where it's like kind of overwhelming, but bacon, it's just like smoky. It's got that nice flavor to it. It comes off crispy, and then some of the pepperonis can come off crispy, especially when the ones that curl up, right? The natural pepperonis or whatever, the primo pepperonis, or for some places they curl up. Those are pretty good. They crisp up nicely. It's kind of like the same with like sausage or bacon, right? Because meat and pepperoni does have a good amount of fat in it, so it'll definitely crisp up nicely. And so even if it comes off quote unquote dry, it'll be crispy, so it'll be fine. So absolutely delicious. But is this something like I must crave for? Not nowadays, strangely. So it is delicious, but I don't need to have it on my pizza because I can enjoy it with cheese, and I enjoy it actually more with bacon nowadays, strangely. But as a kid, it would probably be a must-have. Okay, here's another controversial one, right? Pineapple. There's been this war, especially in the past, on the internet about, oh my god, pineapple, like, oh, we'll get this away from my pizza, or is pineapple allowed to be there as a pizza topping, right? It's always been a war back and forth. I think for the most part, most people say no from what I've been seeing. You know what? I think it's all right. I actually think it's all right. But there was a point actually where I was ordering pizza with pineapple, but with pepperoni or bacon, and instead of ham, because ham comes off really dry. It's like leather at times, especially when you have those pizza places where they overdo the baking, right? While the cheese is great, but the ham comes off dry. The edges become actually hard rather than crispy because the ham is like tend to be more lean, and so like even like the pointy edges of the ham are actually kind of like, they do sometimes not like poke you to the point where you're bleeding or like that, but it's like kind of bothersome. It's like it comes off leathery. It's just hard. Kind of like up there with chicken. Maybe even worse at times. It depends on the place, right, and how thick the ham is cut. So I understand that the ham and pineapple, that's the Hawaiian pizza combination, right? That's the most common thing. When it comes to me, whenever I did have pineapple on my pizza, it was either pepperoni or bacon for the meat. And that actually does work better because of the saltiness and the sweetness that goes along with the pizza. It even gets even more enhanced with jalapeno, which unfortunately is not on here. I actually put jalapeno in like more of the tasty side or even delicious, especially when it's paired with more meats. That and with pineapple and whatever meat I said actually go well together because you got the salty, you got the sweet, and you now have the spiciness in there, along with that little bit of the tang from if it's actually the pickled jalapeno. So you got a lot of flavors going on, but because of how pineapple is very wet, so the pizza comes out pretty freaking wet, which is why a lot of people don't like it. And also there are actually a number of people that don't like pineapple altogether. I think pineapple by itself is fine. I actually like pineapple way better on burgers, man. It's definitely really good on burgers, especially when you grill the pineapple and then you put it in the burger. Oh my god, it's so good with the teriyaki sauce and everything. The whatever like white cheese you have, that actually really does wonders to the burger. But other than that, when it comes to pizza, I think it's okay actually. But I understand why it's been such a controversial thing on the internet. On the friendly side, for the most part, right? People like to argue about stuff, including pizza toppings. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, whatever you put on your pizza, I mean, I should save that for last. But anyway, let's get back to here. Pineapple, at the end of the day, is okay in my book. If I have to have it, I definitely eat it. But is this something like I frequent towards for pizza topping? Nah, not exactly. But whenever I did have it, man, it's all right for the most part. Okay, artichoke. I mean, artichoke makes it into like more of a Mediterranean thing, I guess. It's not a no way, but it's not exactly if I have to type of thing. So it's kind of hard to say. I guess maybe a no way, but like right here, like right there on the cusp, right? In front of broccoli. Definitely Parmesan cheese is like bottom, but artichoke, I guess, but I definitely wouldn't have it on my pizza. Don't got much to say. It's good by itself or on the side when you have like mayo or even like shoyu and mayo, and then you dip it with the artichoke and eat it. Pretty good, I would say. I've had it a couple of times in my life. I think it's all right by itself, but when it's on pizza, I don't know how I feel about that. A lot of times. Okay, so ranch. Man, somebody really likes Kraft for some reason. Anyway, ranch on pizza. It is definitely tasty to say the least. I definitely would have it over barbecue. Just some about the creamy, that tangy, that herby flavor that it brings to the pizza. It definitely complements it. I mean, it definitely is great when it comes to the crust, right? You have nothing to dip it with. Dip that bad boy into the ranch, bam. But of course, it definitely is great on the actual pizza, right? You put it on the pizza and then just boom, man. Especially when you have like pepperoni, bacon, all that stuff, whatever meat you got on your pizza, it'll definitely complement it with the ranch. So as a pizza topping, I definitely think it is really good. But if it's like the primary sauce, I don't know about that, Chief. But pizza topping or something for like a dipping sauce, definitely, absolutely. Right. So let's move on. This is, I'm assuming, like salami or something like that. This one's like, yeah, all right, this is tasty. You know, I definitely put it right there. Along with bell pepper, no particular order there. I think it's all right. I mean, maybe because it's like potentially less overwhelming than pepperoni. I mean, I don't know. It really depends on who makes it, how it's made, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, it's sausage, and I like sausage. It's tasty on the pizza, so it definitely gives off more of like a more authentic pizza than anything. And definitely, of course, like anything, a lot of things, when it's made right, it definitely is at least tasty on pizza. So this one, next one up, I'm assuming that is pizza sauce. So if you want more sauce or marinara sauce on your pizza, hey, I mean, I'm all for it. I think it's tasty. But sometimes you can have too much of a good thing, right? On top of your pizza. It'll definitely come off more like a Chicago dish pizza. There's a lot of sauce in that bad boy. Now, a good Chicago dish pizza can be a fun time to be had, but I don't exactly go for a Chicago dish. I don't definitely crave it. I definitely like to have the right amount of sauce to it. That's just me. And so I think it's tasty. I think it's like something to drizzle on top of your pizza or dip it, whatever. At the end of it. But it's just more pizza sauce, so how can you be offended by that, right? So I think it's tasty at best. Tabasco. I'm actually surprised this maker of the tier list actually threw that in there, because I feel like Tabasco was like a very Japanese thing. Whenever back in the day, at least in the 90s or early 2000s, whenever I say, oh, I like to put Tabasco on pizza, they were like, wait, you like to put that on your pizza? Like, I had some strange looks whenever I said that. It's like it was very common in Japan to have Tabasco on your pizza. Tabasco is very, very common as a pizza topping. You know, it's just you just put it all over it, or not. I mean, I guess it depends on the person, but like you can put it all over it. I mean, for a little bit, right? It's pretty strong, so a little bit can go a long way. So I definitely put it, like, it's tasty, along with the rest of the these toppings right here, including ranch. And so I think it's definitely tasty. Do I always do it? No, but whenever I did it, hey, I mean, it's pretty good. But you definitely want the bottle on the side, just to keep doing it and something like that, but yeah. Okay, so up next, we're definitely doing winding down to the last couple of toppings, which is tomato. See, logic would say, hey, it's just more tomato. How can you be offended by that, right? But tomato by itself, like when you just slice it like that, it doesn't work because it's too wet. It's still watery. Unless you maybe like what do you call it? Like cook the tomato, or you roast the tomato somehow, or you sun dry the tomato. If it's just regular ass tomato, it's very wet. So unlike the pineapple, right? It doesn't offer like a big thing of flavor, right? It's you have to do something else with it before you put it on top of your pizza. I think by itself, just plain old tomato, yeah. I mean, if you dice it, it's a little better. But just, I guess that's a whole, like, I don't know, man. Like, something about tomato sometimes I just don't really feel too crazy about it. So I guess at the end of the day, it's either alright, or if I have to, I probably would just put it at if I have to, because a lot of times the pizza doesn't come out right. It just doesn't work like that with pizza. In this case here, even though, yeah, it's more tomato, but you gotta do something with that tomato first before you slap it on your pizza. You gotta sun dry it, or just do something else really, or just make it into a sauce, right? But yeah. Anyway, okay. So up next, this is definitely one of the other veggie toppings, which is onion. I think this is overall a tasty topping, along with bell pepper. Is definitely one of the best vegetables out there for just flavor, right? It's just a no-brainer when it comes to grilling onions and stuff like that on your burger or steak, or just anything beef related or chicken related, really, or anything meat related, really. Onion is just one of those staple veggies that you gotta have in your dish. I mean, but my younger self would definitely hate onion because of how like the texture used to be. But when you do it right, I mean, it's definitely good. But there were times where like the texture of the onion in the pizza topping could kind of conflict with it. I don't know if it's just like the people who like leave the harder parts of the onion in the pizza or whatever. Like they cut the onion and they like still get the outer layer and just slap it in there. They gotta like peel the onion and take off one more layer just to make sure you got that like nice part of the onion, and then put it on your top of your pizza, or just anything else really. What I like to do though, for the most part, is just have like thinly sliced raw onion, or you can grill it, and then you put it on your put it on your pizza after the pizza is baked, not with the pizza. So, but for the most part, they bake it with the onion, or they bake the onion with the pizza, right? So I think it's tasty overall. Not exactly up there like delicious, but it's like, I guess it depends on the mood, but yeah, I mean, it's not bad at the end of it. It's tasty, depending on how you distribute your onion, I guess you could say. Okay, lastly, pesto, I'm assuming. So this looks like a pesto sauce. You can drizzle on your pizza, definitely. I would say, right? It's definitely up there with the basil. And I would say, in fact, it definitely goes better on your conventional pizza than basil, right? The basil is like good for the I keep forgetting the name. It's like right on top of my tongue. It's the sort of like the fancier pizza, right? Like I said before. I'm actually gonna look it up, in fact. I forget what it was called, dang it. Like it's like right on the tip of my tongue. Margherita pizza, that's what it was. Oh my goodness, I finally got it. It's margherita pizza that goes with the leaf basil a lot better. I mean, even pesto goes better, or goes good with margherita pizza if you want, I guess. But it's definitely more compatible, I say, in my opinion. But that's because, of course, pesto is something you put after the pizza, or after the baking, rather than during the baking. Now, you could do that. I mean, you could do the leaf after the pizza too, but I would say the sauce, because how sauces are, they stick to the pizza better. They like just blend in with the pizza better, all that stuff, or whatever food. And plus, pesto has a little more to it too. So definitely, overall, I say it's a little better than the leaf, basil leaves. But whatever. It's just more flexible. It makes more sense, I think, in my book, than just about a little bit than, well, basil, like the leaves. So, I would say, yeah, it's definitely delicious, but I don't exactly crave for it, so it's not a must-have, like bacon and extra cheese, So, I think overall, this is a pretty reasonable tier list, right? Got a couple of the must-haves, right? And then for the most part, I mean, I can eat most of these toppings, and then only a few for the no ways. So that's a pretty reasonable tier list, I'd say, for pizza toppings. So yeah, that's all I got for this video with pizza toppings. So with these pizza toppings you see in the video, where would you rate these in your tier list, right? Put them. I like to see them in the comment section below. Do you guys agree with my tier list or not? I like to see some friendly discussions or comments in the comment section below. Again, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like these, subscribe more to support the channel. So I really do appreciate it. It really does help out, especially nowadays on YouTube, right? So, but anyways, that's all I got for this tier list video with pizza toppings today. That was pretty fun. Hope to do more of these in the future. And with that, thank you very much, and hope to see you all in the next video. Ciao now.